Do you ever feel like you're just not as good as other people? Like they have a lot more time than you, or they just care more, and they're just putting in all these extra hours and doing things that you just are not doing. Someone recently told me that she was sitting at a bar mitzvah or a wedding, and someone was singing the praises of the host, and they're doing this organization, that organization, and volunteering here and there. And she was just sitting there feeling like, well, I don't do any of that. I've got a job and I look after my family, and that's it. I don't really have time for anything else. Like, is that bad that I'm not doing all these extra things? I think a lot of us experienced this during lockdown as well. When everyone was posting all the cookies that they'd baked for the NHS, or that they'd gone to visit a fire station to encourage them, or that they'd gone to visit lots of little old ladies and deliver letters. People found time for all these amazing extra things, all these extra acts of giving, which made a huge, huge difference to everyone's experience. But some people just felt like they didn't have the capacity for that. You were just getting through the day and making sure that your family were okay, that they were fed and looked after, and that they were emotionally healthy, and that's all you could do. You didn't have time or capacity for anything else. In this week's Sedra is Parashat Shoftim, and Moshe is addressing the Jewish people before they enter Israel, and he's talking to them about the wars that they're going to have to fight there. They're going to have to conquer the land, and the men were going to go to war. And he said to them, before you go to battle, what's going to happen is that the Kohen is going to come and address you. And this is what he's going to say. He's going to reassure you that the battles will be won. You've got Hashem fighting for you, and you don't actually have to worry about the battles. They're going to be okay. But not all of you have to be there. If you fit any of these categories, then you are exempt and you should go home. So he says, if you have just built a new house and you haven't yet dedicated it, you haven't had a Chanukas Habayis and had a dedication ceremony, then you should go home and do that, because otherwise you're just going to be thinking about your new home and you're going to be worrying about it. Your mind is not going to be on the battle. You're going to be distracted. Again, if you've just planted a new vineyard and you haven't yet harvested the grapes, and you're going to have that on your mind. You're going to keep thinking about how's my vineyard doing, what's happening to my grapes, and you're going to be distracted. You shouldn't be here, you should go home. And the final category was if you've just got engaged to somebody, you're betrothed, but you haven't yet got married to them. Your mind is going to be on your future wife and you're going to be distracted. You shouldn't be fighting, you should go home. Now, for most of us, unless you're living in Israel and actually are in service in the army, most of us are not fighting physical battles. And yet we have this drive within us that we do feel like we should be doing something to save the world. Whether you're saving the whales, or you're saving the Brazilian rainforest, or you're volunteering in your local shul, or if you are helping out in your school, or you've found some other tzedakah organization that needs your help. We do have this drive and we do want to help other people, and that's incredibly important. But sometimes we look around and we feel like everyone is doing more than us and we're not doing enough and we should be doing more. And often we feel like, maybe I'm spending too much time at home. Maybe I shouldn't be doing that. Maybe I should be looking after everyone else. And I think this is teaching us that actually you don't have to be the person fighting the war. If you've got other worries, if you've got things going on at home, if you've got kids at home that desperately need your time, or you are at home supporting your spouse, if you're looking after parents, anything in your immediate family that is taking up your attention, that is exactly where you are meant to be. That is your primary role and your primary focus. And you shouldn't feel bad about not being the person on the battlefront. Your time will come. Whatever you're going through at the moment, it's not going to be forever. It's a stage, and things change, and kids grow up, and jobs change, and you may have more free time or more capacity in years to come. But if at the moment you feel like you can't do any more than you are doing, then don't feel bad about it. At home, you are irreplaceable. You are the only you in your home. Within a volunteering organisation, there'll be another volunteer. Someone else can do it. It doesn't have to be you. Of course, it's lovely if it is you, and if you do have the time and you can commit to doing something for other people, then that's incredible. And it's also an incredible thing to teach your children and to show them that you are actively helping outside your immediate family. But it's also important to show them how important they are to you and that they are your primary focus and that their needs come first. And once you have dealt with them and given them everything that they need, then you can start looking outwards and thinking, what else can I do to help in the wider community? And if at the moment it's nothing because you just don't have the time, then that's okay. Don't feel bad about it. Have a good week and a good Shabbos.